recording the session. So, how are you doing today, Alicia?
Good. Just been a little busy with trying to get Genesis ready so I could be here on time. Yeah.
Well, um, so I see that you have a daughter, Genesis. How has that been, like being a mother and a basketball player?
It's been a journey for sure.
Mhm.
It's just something that I've kind of learned to juggle as we've gone along. She turned 2 yesterday, so I've been doing this for a while now.
Yeah,
And just having the support system that I do has really helped. It's made it easy. So.
that's nice. So do you come from a sports family? I know your dad played in the NFL, but what did your mom, and I know your sister Amber is doing track at UCCS. Like, what did your mom ever play a sport?
No, she didn't, but she likes to say that we got our speed from her, but she never officially played any sports, but she said she used to play outside with all the other kids and dominate out there. So,
Hey. Um, like, did you ever watch your father play growing up?
oh, a lot. Like I've been to a lot of games. They had me when they were in college, so I was able to kind of understand by the time he got to the NFL what was going on and the fact that my dad was out there. And it was really cool to be a part of that atmosphere for sure.
Do you think you got your competitiveness from watching your father play professionally?
Yes, that and then also when he was at home, we always were super competitive, just whether we're playing board games or
Mhm.
whether it's like me and my sisters who can go grab something for them the fastest. So it's always
Yeah.
been a competitive atmosphere at my house.
Also, congratulations on being named RMAC Defensive Player of the Week on Monday. What were your feelings in that moment?
Um, it was kind of hard because we had just came off of that loss, so it was something that I enjoyed. It's always cool to be recognized, but at the same time, it's like I knew we had a lot to get done in that upcoming week of practice. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of short lived, I guess.
Being a redshirt senior, like how did that help you become like the team leader that you needed to be for your other teammates?
Yeah, this is my fifth year now, so just being able to watch all of the vets before me that I played with, and just seeing how they handled things, and then learning from my own experiences as a basketball player has really helped me not only become more vocal along the years, but also like knowing what to say and when to say it. I never want to be that person that's just talking to talk. I want what
Yeah.
people hear to have impact on them. So,
Mhm. What's your favorite thing like to do with your family?
we go to parks a lot,
Mm.
especially since Genesis is so little. She loves like
Yeah.
the little jungle gyms, the slides. That's her thing. So it's really fun to get out there. We like to play soccer. I'm
Yeah.
not very good at it, but Malcolm is. So it's
Mhm.
just something that we like to do to pass time, get out there in
Mhm.
the sun.
How'd you meet Malcolm? I know he was a former CSU Pueblo player.
We actually met at UNC, and
Okay.
he played basketball there as well.
Mhm.
And I think it was like after COVID, coming back from COVID, we just kind of started hanging out. I already knew who he was before then, but
Yeah.
just being able to get a better understanding of who he was and what he stood
Mhm.
for, he's just
Yeah.
obviously, I love it.
Yeah. Also, what are your goals after college? Like, are you thinking about going to the WNBA or nursing school?
I definitely want to pursue the nursing side of everything. I've
Mhm.
always been super passionate about nursing, and I'm just excited to be able to get into that realm and start a career and see where God takes me. I'm not really sure what
Yeah.
specialties I want to go into yet, but I'm
Mhm.
really excited about that.
Mhm. And how'd you get into basketball?
My parents actually made us choose a sport when we were younger. I want to
Okay.
say I was in middle school, and they said that we had to choose something to do just to stay
Yeah.
healthy and stay active. And I didn't want to be outside,
Mhm.
and I didn't want to wear the volleyball spandex, so
Yeah.
I just chose
So.
basketball. Yeah.
And what motivated you as a player to do what you had to do on the court and off the court?
Um, I would say initially, before I had Genesis, it was always like an internal thing. I just want to make sure that when every time I step on the court, I'm producing, I'm helping the team get to where we need to be. Just doing the little things, the 50-50 balls, that's always been my thing. And then
Mm,
as I got older, I would say it was just to because also the same thing, helping the team, but I want to be able to have Genesis look back on this time and be like, wow, like my
mhm.
mom had a lot going on, but she still
Yeah.
always put her all into it. So,
Mhm. I'm glad you have a good support system with your family and everything. How has that been like to have a daughter who's 2 years old and still
mm.
trying to navigate through everything that you're doing?
Yeah, it gets really busy and sometimes it's stressful, but just back to that support system, like I keep reiterating, like not only my parents, but my sister, she's here in the Springs, as I said, and
Mhm.
just having her here just to be able to have Genesis when me and Malcolm's schedules overlap. And then my parents watch her quite
Mhm.
often, especially when I'm on the road. Malcolm works full time. So, and childcare is super expensive,
Yes.
still in college. So, yeah, it's meant the world just knowing that there's people on our side and that are willing to help us in whatever way we need them.
Who's someone you look up to and why?
Um, My first thought was my mom, to be
Mhm.
honest. And I would just say, like, watching her when I was younger and seeing how she
Mhm.
had three of us. So she
Mhm.
was usually like, she obviously wasn't a single mom, but my dad was on the road a lot and always at games and practice. And so she had a lot to juggle. And she was still pretty young herself. And so just being able to handle all of that with such grace has been a great example. And she still continues to be there for us and pray for us, which I think is huge. And just, yeah, pouring in into our faith and our relationship with God has always been something that I really admired about her.
Um, what is something that's interesting about you that no one really knows about you?
Mm. I don't know because I feel like I'm such an open book and I've been blessed to be able to sit down with so many different people and tell
Mhm.
my story. So I don't
Mhm.
really know what people don't know about me.
Mhm.
So that's a hard question. I'm sorry.
No, you're
I
good.
think
You're so
everybody
good.
knows. Yeah.
And also, are you sisters and you're like back to back? Like, how many years apart are you guys?
So me and Amber are like 2, almost 3 years apart. And then my youngest sister, she's 6 years younger than me. So we have a little bit of a gap. And I
Yeah.
always felt like she was mine sometimes because I just always wanted to help out with her.
Yeah.
And she's just, I don't know, she's such a little baby in my eyes. But
Yeah. What's the dynamic between you guys, like being as a family?
we're super close.
Yeah.
Being an NFL family, like you move around a lot. And
Yeah.
so we've always just had each other for the most part.
Mhm.
And I think that my parents just did a great job of making sure that we always knew that we had them and each other.
Mhm.
And yeah, like, I just loved our dynamic as we were growing up, and even now they still continue to support us in any way possible.
Mhm. What was your favorite state to like live in when your dad was playing in the NFL?
Definitely Colorado. And that's
Yeah.
not a knock to Ohio or New York. We were in
Yeah.
Buffalo, New York, by the way. I feel like that's
Mhm.
important to put out there, but
Yeah.
the city. But yeah, I love Colorado. I love everything about it. I love the weather. I love the people out here. Um, I honestly, this is home and I don't want to go anywhere else. But if that's where God takes us, then I'm okay with that too. But Colorado is just an amazing place to be.
I agree. Tim, do you have any questions for Alicia?
Alicia, to ask you what are your feelings about being honored as the Women's Colorado Sports Hall of Fame Collegiate Athlete of the Year for the 2024 season?
Wow. When I first saw that, I was just kind of blown away. I didn't really know how to feel. It's obviously a huge honor. And just to even be considered is a blessing. And I'm just really thankful and grateful to everybody that's been a part of this journey and everyone who's helped me get here. Um, yeah, I don't know. I was just overjoyed. It's an honor. It's like leaves me kind of speechless sometimes.
Obviously, your career is winding down as a collegiate player. This weekend, obviously, you'll be playing your final home game against Colorado Mines. It's a big game for both schools. As Mines trying to get into the playoff picture, you guys are trying to get a home court berth in the starting playoffs on Tuesday. What are your thoughts about the final game?
I think that it's definitely going to be competitive, just like every game. But I just know that the group that we have, especially having seven seniors, I know we're going to give our all. And usually, when that happens, we come out with big wins. And I'm really excited to be able to play with these girls this last regular season game and just give our all and see what happens next.
Obviously, your statistics are off the chart. Only Becky Hammonds has scored more points as a Colorado Collegiate. You're the top rebounder, block shots. Last night you had 8 steals. So, of all the statistics, what are you the most proud of?
Um, I don't know. It's hard to choose one thing, but I just know I like to win, to be honest. I never really pay attention to the categories or what I produced that night. It's always about winning to me. And if as long as we win, then I'm pretty happy.
Obviously, you came from a great high school background. I guess it was Grandview, right?
Yes,
I
sir.
and you played with several girls that are probably on the team. Why did you choose UNC initially when you went there?
I would say that one, they're close to home, and I always wanted to stay in Colorado. I wanted to be close to my family. And then two, like they gave me a chance, and I think that Coach Jenny, she really poured into who I was as a person at that time and as a basketball player, and she believed in what she saw in me in high school, and she was willing to help me develop her and her coaching staff. And so I think that was definitely a huge part of my journey as a basketball player. And I'm glad that I was able to spend time there.
Why the switch to Pueblo?
Yeah, it was a really hard decision, but I've said it a few times. Like, I just wanted to be able to focus on my academics. There, I felt like I wasn't able to do so, and nursing has always been super important to me. Um, and then there were things that were going on, on and off the court that it wasn't helping me grow anymore. So I had to go and find somewhere where I was able to do so.
What about you won the Beatty Scholarship, the Sam Beatty Scholarship? How important is that to have financial help? Because you're at D2, not D1, where everything's a full ride. So how has that helped you?
Oh, all of the scholarships are a huge blessing. Being a nursing student full time, and then obviously having basketball and having Genesis. There's not a lot of time. I can't work, and so being able to have that scholarship sets us up perfectly financially and not having to worry about day to day things or even just paying off that tuition. I know that's a huge thing that a lot of students have to deal with. So it's a blessing to have those scholarships.
Memorable moments for you during your career, even including high school. What stands out if you had 3 things that you look back on? Maybe one at high school, one at UNC, and one at CSU Pueblo.
Oh, one of each.
And we won't talk about Genesis because that's number one.
Right. I would say one at each school. The In high school, I would say that first basketball championship that we won, that state championship. That group of girls was just really close knit, and I'm able to still talk to them today, and they've always been a part of my life and always will be, and so I hold that really close to my heart. I would say at UNC, probably winning MVP. That was something that kind of gave me a lot of confidence, knowing um, that I was actually one of the best, one of the top, I would say. Like I never really saw myself in that way. And so getting that award was really big for me and my confidence and also my basketball career. And then here at Pueblo, it's hard because I've been here the longest, and these are girls that I grew up with. Um, I would just say like this season as a whole, this season and last season have been some of the best seasons that I've been able to play in. Even that first year, I don't know. It's hard to just choose one big memory because I've enjoyed every year, and this group of girls have just been so supportive, and it's really been like a family. So I'm sorry I can't choose one from Pueblo.
Well, one of the big rivalries in the RMAC is you and Olivia Reed. She's from Windsor, and so forth. You played them. Obviously, the team hasn't had success against the Mavericks, but you've done pretty good against Olivia. What about her as a player, and what makes her a special player?
Yeah, Olivia, she just works really hard. She's really determined. She's one of those players that's gonna go for the 50-50 balls all the time. And she really pours into her group, which I think is extremely important. She's a great leader. Yeah, she's really fun to play against and she's super competitive just like I am. So it's always a matchup that I look forward to.
Anything else to add? Is Genesis around so we can get a picture
She's
of the
not.
baby?
I'm
Okay.
sorry. I sent her out with her dad. They're going to get Dutch Bros and
Oh my gosh.
just I didn't want her running around. You have no idea how many times she'd be in and out of this frame if not. So yeah, maybe next time.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it. I want you to hold on after she stops the recording just to talk a few things to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Also, oh, a quick question before I stop the recording. What's your favorite thing to get from Dutch Bros since they're going over there?
Ooh, my favorite thing right now, I have two drinks that I really like. It's the Golden Eagle hot chocolate, and then if I'm craving coffee, then I like to
Mhm.
get it's a white ice zombie mocha.
Oh,
Yeah,
sounds
I
really
know
good.
it's long-winded. It's so good.
Thank you.